Ready whenever you are.
Out on the road or safe at home, life can turn on a dime and you're on your own. But there's a light, guiding hands actually here to show you how to make a stand.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unique Prepping, where innovation meets preparation, and everyone's unique abilities come together to build a stronger, united community. Unique Prepping exists to empower individuals to embrace their unique strengths and abilities while preparing for the challenges of tomorrow. Our channel is about more than just survival, it's about thriving in every aspect of life. We focus on practical prepping, from mastering gardening and sustainable living to honing essential survival skills, fostering a spirit of self-reliance, and building meaningful connections with like-minded individuals who share the same goals. Why unique? Because we believe that everyone, regardless of their circumstances or abilities, has something valuable to contribute to the prepping community. We are here to break down barriers, challenge limitations, and show that preparation is for everyone. This is a space where creativity meets practicality, and where we celebrate the diverse talents and perspectives that make us stronger together. It's not about fitting into a mold. It's about embracing what makes each of us special and leveraging those strengths to overcome challenges. Here, we don't just prepare for the future, we embrace it with open arms and open minds, crafting a lifestyle that values self-reliance, resilience, and the spirit of unity. Whether it's growing our own food, building essential skills, or navigating life's challenges with unique abilities, we're here to show that nothing can hold us back. Our goal is to equip you with the tools, strategies, and confidence needed to tackle life's uncertainties head-on and emerge stronger, wiser, and more prepared than ever. In this journey, we strive to empower you with knowledge, inspire you with ideas, and unite us all through a shared mission, to be ready, to be resourceful, and to be resilient. Together, we can face any storm, rise above any obstacle, and shine light on the path forward. Through collaboration and determination, we can create a community where everyone feels valued and supported, where no challenge is too great, and where the bonds we build stand the test of time. So, let's gear up, get creative, and continue this incredible journey of prepping, learning, and growing as a community. This is Unique Prepping, where every step we take is a step towards a brighter and more secure tomorrow. It's more than just a channel, it's a movement, a way of life, and a promise to face the future together. Are you ready? Let's dive in and get started. At Unique Prepping, we're all about building stronger communities and preparing for the unexpected. Now, we're taking our mission even further by partnering with Stolen Spirits, a powerful initiative focused on raising awareness for missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. Together, we're blending preparedness with advocacy, shining a light on the issues that matter most. Join us as we unite for a cause, inspire change, and build a future where every voice is heard and every life is valued. Unique Prepping and Stolen Spirits, stronger together.
Hello.
Greetings
That was
from
good.
South Carolina.
Hello there.
Bob.
Hey, hello everybody in chat.
I have no clue what's going on, why we're here, or what's happening. I'm on the wrong
Today,
show, I
we're
think.
diving into
I
something
was
that
supposed to
affects
be on
every single one
BBP's
of us,
tonight, but
something
everything
we
went
can't
wrong,
live
and I'm
without.
on a different show. And
Not just what's on your plate tonight, but what could be on your plate 10, 20, even 50 years from now. That's right, we're asking a big question. What does the future of food look like? As we look ahead, things are changing fast. We're seeing new technologies pop up that sound like science fiction. Vertical farms growing crops indoors without soil, machines that can 3D print your meals, and even meat that never came from an animal. We're seeing new ways to store, preserve, and cook food, smart kitchens, AI nutritionists, and personalized diets designed just for your body. It's a wild new world when it comes to eating.
oh my God, all I can think about is a boy and his dog. My day is ruined.
Future's high tech doesn't mean we throw out everything we know and love. There's still power in growing your own tomatoes, raising chickens in the backyard, and sharing meals around the table with the people you care about. There's still wisdom in learning the old ways, and there's strength in community when times get tough. So today, we're gonna hang out, talk it out, and hear what the community thinks. I want to know your thoughts. What are you excited about when it comes to the future of food? What worries you? What are you doing right now to secure your food future, whether that's canning, dehydrating, starting seeds, or experimenting with new recipes?
Okay, so what's going on? Are we doing your show or are we doing
He's not
BBB
done yet.
stuff show?
Sheesh. Dun, 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 dun.
There were two different topics I saw. They were both good.
I have no idea what's going on.
I have no clue what's happening.
But Wisconsin, greetings.
Hey,
Did you have cheese today?
cheesehead.
I did have some cheese today. It was
I
awesome.
bet. You did too, wasn't it? I bought a bunch of cheese yesterday, man. I bought like $50 worth.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I'm running this show this week.
No, duh. Really?
I mean, it's BBB's. I don't know what's going on.
I
It's
don't know.
fine.
I'm with you.
So, the future of food. What are the topics? Do we have them back chat? Or
No, there's nothing in the chat. But yeah, we're just talking about the
I think-
future of food. We're
I
going to
think
talk
the
about things
future of
like
food. I think.
vertical
Okay.
farming and
Hey, dude.
GMOs.
all right, yeah, let's party.
But I think the future of food 110% depends on how society goes. You know, we may be eating solid green before it's over with.
Hey, Brady's
Don't
not
say
here
that.
yet.
No. That is a disturbing possible reality. What's that movie? The one with the train that kept going through the ice.
Oh God.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah, Snowpiercer. That stuff they were feeding them. It's just like it might not be too far off. If we let the government have their way, that's a scary thought. We look at Bill Gates buying up so much farmland. You're letting China buy up so much land out here, and my sponsor, Jonathan Morris, he's a cattle rancher, farmer, does all his own stuff from raising them to selling them out of shop, and it's like he's selling 70% of our beef is exported, and we import. It's like, why are we importing beef? And like a lot of our stuff goes out. USA grade Angus beef only has to be at least 51% Angus. And then you can just slap a sticker on it and say, yep, Angus, yeah, 100% Angus. Da, da, da. It's amazing what they're getting away with the USDA. It's disturbing. And if you get away with stuff like that,
Kobe beef's pretty good, and I know he gets some of that, right? He imports that, Jonathan.
no, he doesn't mess with Kobe. He does Wagyu.
That's what I
But
mean.
it
Like
isn't
that's
a-
from Japan. Yeah.
But it's just
I
a
get those
special-
two confused all the time too, Chance.
No, I wasn't confused. I'm saying he imports from Japan, whether it's
okay.
Kobe or Wagyu. I knew it was one or the other.
No, he gets his locally sourced.
Ah,
Farmers support farmers. That's why I love him. I'm glad he helps me out with the show.
No, but I mean, the last like 20 years has seen a steady growth in community farms, like really small local farms where people will have their own like cattle, they'll have their own livestock, they'll have their own agriculture all set up for the community. And like, even in big cities, you'll have I know, like in Philadelphia, because I used to live near Philadelphia, they had this disused park in the middle of the sticks that they just basically converted into a garden where anybody who lived in the area could go and could plant and could tender and tend the garden and could take any of the food they wanted. And it worked out really well. It was very almost communist, but it worked
I was
because it
about
was
to
local.
say. I,
Um,
I mean, I agree with you.
I've seen a lot of that. I've even seen some neighborhoods around here. They'll just have like backyard farms. You know, and a couple of places will have enough, you know, acreage to actually have livestock. And you can get a lot of stuff that, like, that's how I get eggs now. Ever since egg prices went crazy last year, getting eggs locally is way cheaper. And maybe it's just the placebo effect, but I feel like they taste better too. So yeah.
Yeah, those were called Victory Gardens. They came up a
Victory
long time.
Gardens. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, that was a very popular thing during World War II, where people would just, grow their own food because they were on those not like
Foods.
food stamps, but they
They
were
were,
like
yeah,
It was like a rationing system. Yeah.
rationings. Yeah. So in the inner cities, not every block, but most every blocks had like a space where they were just growing stuff and, and helping out the people in their neighborhoods, and
Yeah, and like
that,
I've said, that I've
mm,
seen that starting to come back. And the
yeah,
places where I've seen it in big cities, like in Philadelphia, like in New York, that's what really like heartens me. Like I think that's really cool. Like I
yeah,
know they have
Chicago too.
apartment buildings in Manhattan where they go to the roof and they have like gardens on the roof, and
Hmm.
and everybody who lives in that apartment building can go up to the garden on the roof. I think that stuff is awesome and so wholesome and so cool. We need more of that. So
Yeah. Hopefully they're not genetically modified.
I don't have
I
a problem with
know.
that. I think genetic
I think
modification is
Zach
going to
kind
solve
of
world hunger.
stay up there,
Mm,
you know.
oh no. Just don't want
Question number one. What
I
role do
want
you
some
think
like
technology should play in how our food is grown and delivered?
It's not like it's like your voice is not coming through as it
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
usually
coming
I
through the
does.
say the
computer.
same thing. Zach, your volume is messed up, buddy.
No, it's like it's
Crank
it's
it
not
up.
coming through the computer. I think he mentioned it in the comments that he couldn't get it to turn
Oh,
on properly. Um,
oh, okay.
Technology. Okay, like I was just saying, I do think genetic modification is a good thing in the long run, as long as
mm,
it's controlled. Like you look at the golden rice thing down in Indonesia and stuff, where people were going blind because they didn't have the proper nutrients, so they started growing golden rice, and now they're not going blind anymore because it's
wow.
genetically modified to give them the nutrients they needed that they
Okay.
couldn't get. I think stuff like that is great, but you've got such this anti-GMO thing in
I
America,
mean,
and I feel like it. I feel like it's a first world thing where we think genetic modification, we think Frankenfoods, we think this is evil, but
mhm,
down in the third world, this is
mhm.
saving. This is like pulling people out of famine.
Yeah,
Um,
they're making the pest resistance and stuff like that. That's a good thing.
yeah, so that's just my
Yeah,
2 cents.
I mean,
I'm,
I'm not
I'm
anti, but I mean, it's just like you see so much GMOs floating around. It's like, don't they have just like regular stuff like they used to?
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't like that neither. It's to blame old food of the gods. They gonna get all big and mutated.
Everything's
That's what made
genetically
it.
modified. You think the tomato that you
Mhm.
grow in your backyard wasn't like genetically modified over centuries of selective breeding? I
Well,
mean,
that
it's
could
all the
be
same
too.
thing. It's just a little more accelerated now.
I mean, I'm like, I'm kind of on the fence though. I could go either way.
Sorry, it's something I'm passionate about. I really do
Mhm,
feel like genetic modification
mhm.
can solve world hunger if we let it. It's
See, I
just
never knew about that.
there's so much resistance to technology like that. It kind of pisses me off a little bit,
Never knew about
So
that till you said something. I never
just
thought
Yeah,
about like that.
but the problem with it is it's a Nazi's wet dream.
Hmm.
Well, I
I
think
think
like when most people hear genetically modified, they immediately think Monsanto.
yeah, they think Monsanto, they think
That's
like a
what I'm thinking.
monopoly, they think
Yeah,
like patented seeds as if that's a new thing. It's
Hmm.
not.
I think I only want my technology involved in like the harvesting and maybe the planting. Leave the product itself alone. I want natural. Um,
yep.
I like pure, actual, real food. And as I say that in the same breath, I ate at McDonald's today, and so
Great.
I think processing is far worse than genetic modification. Like the weird
like
seed oils and the
Hmm.
high fructose corn syrup
Sugar.
stuff. That's
Sugar.
But I
way worse than genetic
um
modification, in my
I
opinion.
I did have an uncle that was a farmer. I spent a good many seasons out in the fields with them picking beans and corn and stuff like that. Just all natural stuff. So I grew up on that stuff. And as things are progressing and the GMOs and all the additives and stuff like that, yeah, there can be the positives. Like um Tug was talking about that, yeah, you can save cultures, certain areas. But at the same time, it's like, what is the long term effects, though? I kind of look at stuff that how much technology do we need when it comes to food? You're talking, how do you say?
We have maxed out arable land on the face of the planet. Like there's not a lot left for us to grow food. So if we try to grow everything naturally the way we do now, we wouldn't have enough food to feed the world. We just wouldn't. Period.
Have
Wouldn't
you
even come
have you
close.
Mm.
have you
Um,
been in Nebraska?
yeah, it's not all arable land though. That's the problem. You have these big tracts of land that are open and empty, but you can't really farm there, or else you
Yeah,
already would. Um, I don't know. Like, yeah, the thing I have a problem with when it comes to genetic modification, if you want me to say something bad about genetic modification, I think the idea of a company like Monsanto, it's not so much the patenting seeds I have a problem with, it's that they will genetically modify them so that they have to be annual instead of perennial, so that you have to buy the seeds from them every single year, and you can't use it, you can't change it yourself. I find that a little
yes.
that's a little evil capitalist, and as much as a evil capitalist as I am, I think that's a little too far.
Cardi, thoughts?
Oh, those are my thoughts. It's the same thing. Kind of what Tug was saying. It's genetically modified is not bad. Like we've done it with pets throughout the years, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
the
Like
pug wouldn't exist
yeah,
without it,
Oh,
which is not a good thing.
yeah.
I had a
There
pug.
there there are goods that there are pros and there are cons, and but when it comes to are you starving, take the con.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
all right.
But I'm not well versed in this enough to really argue it.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be combative, by the way. It's just something that
No.
I am passionate about. It's something that I have researched and talked about and thought about a lot. So
Yeah,
that's all.
that's what's up.
Oh, God. I'm almost 60 years old, so I'm not really worried about it. About 20 years, I'll be eating whatever crap they shove in my mouth at the nursing home.
Oh God.
Look, the
Spoiler
alternative is we're
alert.
all going to be eating roaches. Okay, like that's where we're headed.
You know, when I'm 88 years old, I don't care what mashed up crap they're shoving down my throat. I'm probably going to eat it anyway.
Hey guys, we got a cameo. You ready for this cameo?
We have a cameo.
Cameo appearance.
You're not gonna play cameo, are you?
Nope.
Word up.
Last time somebody said that, I thought Jim Carrey come out of a buffalo's
Who do you think's going to make a cameo appearance? Take a guess. Anybody?
Baby.
Come on now, William Shatner.
I think it's going to be plain old Gilligan from Gilligan's Island.
It's someone we know. It's a real person. It's not some.
Oh,
Oh, it's a person.
I'm gonna say TD.
No, Chrissy. She posted this a minute ago on her
Oh,
Facebook, and I snatched it.
Oh,
There's
cool.
BBB on the right. Anyone that
I wonder
doesn't know.
who she's seeing.
I'm going to have to get the blame old Facebook thing, ain't I?
She
I
looks
forgot.
cute.
I
I
just
forgot to
grabbed
ask
She
her
her.
what
texted me that
concert.
same picture. So
Yeah, she looked
Aren't
cute.
you special?
well, I am special. She loves me. Actually, no. She texted me a different picture. I don't.
It sounds like I'm special.
I can't show y'all the picture she texted me.
Oh God.
Oh, Danny.
I like Moose Man's comment. Oh, Zach, you got something?
What's wrong with that? The phone's in the house charging, dummies. I don't know what y'all thought. Y'all got some dirty minds.
When we ask what role technology should play in our food system, it's easy to be drawn to convenience. Drones delivering groceries, AI-driven nutrition apps, lab-grown meat with lab-optimized macros, it all sounds exciting. But when we take a step back and truly consider who we are as human beings, biologically and historically, it becomes clear that the more we stray from natural processes, the more we disrupt the balance our bodies were designed to maintain. Human anatomy didn't evolve in a lab. It evolved over thousands of years of walking on soil, hunting with our hands, foraging for roots and berries, preparing whole foods by hand, and eating seasonally. Our digestive systems are intricately tied to the textures, fibers, enzymes, and natural microbial life found in unprocessed, naturally grown foods. We have molars for grinding, enzymes in our saliva to break down raw plant material, and gut flora designed to interact with soil-based organisms and natural bacteria found on real food, not food that's been stripped of life, sterilized by technology, and reconstructed with synthetic nutrients. When you automate, sterilize, and mechanize every step of the food system, you take away more than just the hard work. You strip away connection. Connection to nature. Connection to seasons. Connection to our own food cycle and community. Technology removes the hands in the dirt experience that teaches us patience, resilience, and appreciation. There's something deeply spiritual and grounding about planting a seed, tending it, harvesting it, and feeding your family with what your land provided. It reconnects us with who we are at our core. The overuse of technology in food production can also dull our instincts. We no longer recognize what's ripe or what's in season because everything is available 24/7. We've stopped understanding how to listen to our own bodies. Instead, we rely on fitness apps and trackers to tell us what we should eat, when, and how much. But the truth is, your body already knows. It's built to signal hunger, fullness, hydration, nutrient deficiency, if you're willing to listen. It doesn't need a barcode or a Bluetooth-enabled fridge to tell you what's good for you. And there's a bigger issue. When we let machines and corporations handle all of our food decisions, we lose independence. The prepping mindset teaches us to rely less on systems that can fail, and more on skills, knowledge, and self-sufficiency. If we can't grow even a portion of our own food, or if our idea of a meal is something that gets printed from a nozzle or grown in a vat, we're one power outage, one supply chain glitch, or one server crash away from being helpless. That's not progress. That's dependency disguised as convenience. Technology can have a place, maybe in reducing waste, preserving freshness during transport, or making basic tools more efficient. But the foundation of how we grow, access, and prepare food should stay as close to nature and as human-driven as possible. Because when we separate food from its source, we separate ourselves from the very thing that sustains us, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. The future of food shouldn't be about controlling nature through machines. It should be about relearning how to live alongside it. UP out.
I mean, yeah, and there was a phrase you said in there. It was dependency disguised as convenience. I freaking love that. That's a great term. I'm stealing it.
That gonna grab everybody and jerk them back on topic.
And yeah, I do feel like everybody should learn how to garden. I should learn how to grow their own food. And it is kind of a spiritual experience just doing it yourself. And if you need any further, there's also like science that says if you spend a lot of time in a garden weeding, you're actually like overdosing on oxygen a little bit, so it gets you high. So highly
I'll tell you what, buddy. I'm from South Carolina, and when I was a kid, I used to have to work on the old aunt and uncle's farm all the time, and feed chickens, pick potatoes, milk cows, pick green beans, and all that horrible, horrible stuff. I am perfectly content to buy my food at Food Line, and unless something dastardly Dawn of the Dead horrible happens, I'm not planning on doing no farming unless I absolutely have to.
Well, you're talking to Zach, so you're getting ready for the zombie apocalypse. So.
Yeah, if there's a zombie apocalypse and I find myself somewhere in the woods, I might have a garden or something. You know, I might be prepared. Unless that happens, it's square fish from Food Line for me.
Well, the good news is all those dead bodies are really good fertilizer.
Hey, Chris is waving back and forth over there in a little bitty corner. We can't hear you. You're muted, Chance.
I know. I was waving at the chat. I put a comment on the screen. Thank you, though.
Oh, right, the chat.
You look like
hey,
one
you.
He looked like one of them kids in the classroom wanting somebody to pick him.
But no, I do agree with the general sentiment. I mean, I don't have that much of a distrust of technology, but I do think we should all learn to not be dependent upon it. So yeah, I've kind of monopolized the conversation, so I'm going to step back.
I'm not interested in growing nothing I can't smoke. I'm gonna leave it at that.
By whatever do you mean? I don't get it.
I'm in the South. We have tobacco farmers here. You know, they ain't gonna grow nothing. Ha 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 ha.
What was that thing from The Simpsons? The tobacco. This tomato tastes like grandma.
The end of it, that sheep or that goat. Tobacco. Tobacco.
Sounds like something in a sci-fi movie when you say it like that.
Heather, what's your YouTube channel? Someone's asking. Ramesh, I put it on the screen.
What?
Heather?
Who's Heather? I'm
I'm
talking about the chat. Someone in the chat saying, thanks, Heather.
Oh, well, yeah, there's a Heather in the chat. Yeah, she's been around. She's.
Hello, Heather, who's been around.
I mean,
someone was asking what her YouTube channel is. Ramesh, or however you pronounce it.
Ram. It's called
Ram.
It's called Ram.
And Moose, yeah, this is what I was trying to get at earlier. You can't actually feed everybody just by doing it the old way. But I do think everybody should at least know how, you know?
Yeah. It's survival of the fittest. The weak should die, right? I'm joking. That's my Klingon impression.
Let them die.
Klingonese.
They have no honor.
No, they don't. Hey, Mike Harper.
Yeah, hey, Mike.
What's going on, Harper?
Might as well wave and say hello.
Hey, Battlefield.
How you doing now, Mike? You're driving down the road.
Question number 2. Would you be open to trying lab-grown meat or insect-based protein?
I have tried that, and it's not bad. I've tried those veggie burgers and Impossible stuff, and it's actually pretty good. It's just really expensive, and it's like, as a diabetic and somebody who's trying to lose the poundage here, it's like, it's very expensive to do so. And I wish that the situation or the whatever, how should I say it, the establishment should lower or make the prices a little bit better for just regular consumers. I mean, I'm not like one of those exact, rich people could find organic foods all the time, and that's or things that are supplemental that are good, and I hate to say it, but sometimes you make the wrong choices too.
Hey, Tracy, I'm not one to preach about nutrition or nothing, but have you tried keto?
Yeah, I'm actually on something like that now. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm on keto saved my life.
Mm.
Keto. I thought you said Cheetos. Have you tried Cheetos?
Oh God. I
Actually,
want no more of that.
Cheetos is one of the things you can actually eat that's real low on sugar and low on calories and don't really kill you.
Yeah, high protein, high fiber.
Yeah.
Hey, Tracy.
Yes, sir.
Tracy, everyone in the chat, anyone on the panel, have you tried an Impossible Whopper? Because I have not.
No.
Actually,
I will.
I may have. I don't remember.
Okay, because I heard it causes rancid flatulence. I don't know if that's true or not.
That's literally just a Whopper, sir. That's the mayonnaise from the Whopper causing that.
That's
And
just fast
I
food in
don't
general,
think so,
man.
right?
I'll be
You're
honest
right.
with you. I
It's
do
like,
everything I possibly can to avoid restaurants like Burger King and
me
McDonald's. I
too.
don't really want to eat nothing from them places.
Can I quickly say, I got to ask everybody
Delicious,
this
though.
question. Have you ever eaten a food and then you urinated and it smelled like that food? Case in point, there's a breakfast
Indian
cereal.
food. Every
God,
single
man.
time I eat
I
Indian
know,
food.
and there's a breakfast cereal, the
Myself.
Dig'em Sugar Smacks. Anytime I eat Sugar Smacks and I urinate shortly thereafter, it smells like Sugar Smacks. Is it just me?
I've never had
Asparagus.
sugar smacks, but I have definitely had that experience where you eat something and then
I
you pee a
remember.
little while later and it smells exactly the same. It's weird.
Just certain foods. Exactly. It's very strange.
Depends on
It
what
can't
you
be
eat,
good.
though.
Can't
Because
be a good
sometimes,
sign.
Cocoa
when you pee, though,
Puffs.
it smells like
Yeah.
like sewer, and it's like basically because of the food. Like if you're eating all fast food diet, then yeah, it's gonna smell like that. I mean, you could ask my husband. I don't really go for fast foods very much, if at all. Neither am I a big fried foods person either.
But getting
Taco
to the
Bell.
question he was asking was about lab grown meat and insect based protein. And like,
Oh, I never had
Never.
insect base.
I've had
the-
like chocolate covered crickets and stuff like that, but I've never had like a cricket burger or eaten like a giant roach like they do. You know.
Oh, gross. I would never eat a
Yeah.
bug. Disgusting.
You have, you just don't know it.
That's true.
And like, do
Oh,
you
you're
like
right.
lobster?
I
There's
like
a great old joke that with every little can of peanut butter, there's a little bit of rat feces.
That's
in there.
true. There's like an acceptable amount of insect.
Yeah, there's
particles.
literally an
Yeah.
acceptable amount of rat feces in our peanut butter.
Oh Jesus!
That's
Never
about most
clog you up.
foods, though.
Everybody,
Yeah, it's true with
do
most
that.
foods, especially
Yeah,
processed
yeah.
foods.
hmm
Have you ever had a fried lobster tail? It's damn good.
Fried?
Yeah.
I don't
They
think
have
I ever
Anna's
had,
and Paul's
actually.
fine dining. It's like $100 dish. It's delicious.
That's
$100
crazy.
to eat some insect's ass.
Well, actually, not that entree, but like the entire meal tip if you do it right.
But I will
Okay.
say, like, I've had lobster that I've caught myself. Like, because I used to live down in Florida and I used to be a scuba diver. I used to do things like go lobster hunting. And for whatever reason, if you like catch your own lobster or pick up your own conch or get your own fish, it always tastes better. There's just something about that. And I don't understand it completely. I think it might be, like I said earlier, placebo, but anytime you make the food yourself or catch the food yourself or any of that stuff, I do feel like on some psychological level, it feels better. It feels healthier. And tastes better. So,
Yeah,
my
I mean,
2
like
cents.
in Asia they eat a lot of insects.
That's true.
And it's sold off the street,
Yeah,
like
China.
they eat a
burning
lot
on
of
a
everything.
skewer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
China.
seen that.
Disgusting. Ugh. But teach their own, different cultures. I shouldn't judge, but not
No,
for
I'm
me.
not either. But I
Was
bet
that
you-
Indiana Jones movie where they like
Temple of Doom.
yeah, Temple of Doom.
Mhm. Monkey,
monkey
brains,
brains,
insects,
the snake, and yeah.
killed monkey brains. Yeah. That's why I never have
Killed
tried Indian
monkey
food. Ever since I saw that movie, I have a repulsion for that kind of food. My sister
Indian
loves it.
food is delicious. I love it.
Really? I don't
Is
like
this-
spicy food. I don't like spicy
Yeah, I
food.
don't
Oh,
eat
then, yeah, you're
Indian
not
food.
in Indian food then.
No.
I don't trust
I don't
people
trust
eating hamburgers.
No. That's all I got to say to your questioner, Zachary. No.
Short and sweet.
Why not? Because no.
No.
Zachary,
and
have
not
you
just
ever eaten
no
them?
from a place of personal taste.
Oh, I'm
or-
sure he has.
It's a deep-rooted no that comes from understanding the connection between food, tradition, health, and the spiritual order of things. Lab-grown meat and insect-based protein aren't just new food options. They represent a fundamental shift in how we view creation, nourishment, and what it means to eat as a human being. Let's talk about lab-grown meat first. This is meat that's engineered in a sterile lab environment, using muscle cells that are harvested and grown in bioreactors, not raised on land, not fed natural diets, and not existing as living creatures in the way we understand nature to function. There's a deep problem with that. Real meat is the product of life. An animal is born, lives, breathes, grazes, and is ultimately harvested, ideally in a respectful, sustainable way. There's a cycle to it. You feed the animal. You care for it. And it feeds you.
Oh God.
That's an exchange. A bond. A responsibility. When you remove all of that and reduce meat to nothing more than muscle cells growing in a vat of synthetic nutrients, you reduce life to a commodity with no soul. And even if the taste is close and the protein count matches, it's not the same. The body knows it. The spirit knows it. There's no life force in that meat, just lab formulas and corporate patents. Now, as for insect protein, people like to argue that it's sustainable, efficient, and already eaten in some cultures. But that doesn't mean it's right for everyone or that it should be pushed on the masses under the disguise of innovation. Human beings, especially in regions where insects are not part of the cultural diet, have built their bodies, traditions, and digestive systems around clean animal proteins: fish, beef, chicken, lamb, goat, and wild game.
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Our teeth, our stomach acid, and our long-term nutritional needs have been shaped over thousands of years to digest these types of meat, along with plants grown from the earth, not bugs crushed into powder and turned into protein bars. And let's not ignore the psychological manipulation behind these trends. Why is it that, all of a sudden, after centuries of clean eating, farming, and hunting, we're being told that natural meat is unsustainable, while insects and lab-grown alternatives are being branded as the future? Why are billion-dollar companies pouring money into this idea and media outlets repeating the same script, as if they're trying to train the public to get used to less? To accept something that goes against instinct, culture, and even common sense? It feels like we're being conditioned to tolerate fake food, while access to real, clean, whole foods becomes harder and more expensive. That's not progress. That's control. What we eat impacts everything: our strength, our thinking, our energy, even our mood. And no matter how much a scientist wants to recreate meat in a lab or turn crickets into a protein powder, it'll never replace the real thing. There's wisdom in the natural order. Animals graze on land, humans raise and harvest them, and we eat what's been provided by the land and sea. Once we start playing God in the lab and rewriting the blueprint of nature, we're not just risking our health, we're risking our identity as people deeply tied to the earth, our food, and our traditions. So no, I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't serve it. And I wouldn't call it food. You pee out.
That's not food. That's a product.
Howdy, Ben Talk. Howdy, sir. Good to see you in chat.
I don't even see how you can eat Chance with all that stuff talking about eating some bugs and stuff. I'll be lucky I can eat breakfast in the morning.
Asparagus is another thing you eat that gets in your urine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what-
Did you not hear me when I said that?
No, I didn't.
Carrots do that too.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with you, Zach. Just like, I do think there is something to be said about maintaining your connection with nature and the natural order of things. But I'm not going to say in a blanket way that we're being trained to think that alternatives are better in some way. Like I do think with population growth, which is real. I'm not a Malthusian or anything, but population growth is real, and with the arable land problem and grazing land problem, I do think that there is an issue with sustainability when it comes to certain kinds of proteins. Lab grown meat, though, I don't want to try it just because I don't want to try it. It sounds disgusting. And yeah, something built in a lab in a sterile environment like that, that's not really connected to nature. I can see where you're coming from, and I can agree with that. But the insect stuff, like, I don't see the problem with that. I really don't. I don't personally like the idea of eating a cricket burger or something, but I don't think there's anything unnatural about taking insects and grinding them up and making something out of them. I don't think that's an issue. I think that's still
They've been doing
natural.
that in Vietnam and China and Korea.
Yeah,
They've
like I
been
said, I
doing
still
that
think that's
for
natural. That's not
hundreds
Yeah,
really
and
like
hundreds of years.
that's
People
third
do
world
that.
BS.
it's still of the earth though, and it's not. I mean, sure, if you're ultra processing it and you're turning it into something completely different, if you're making a whole cake out of crickets, yeah, that's not natural. That's weird.
Cricket cake.
But
Commit
You
suicide
laugh,
before you get to that
that's
point in the
a
U.S.,
real
please.
thing. That's a real
But like I
thing.
Man.
said, I don't want to dominate this conversation. I really feel like I'm talking way too much tonight. So I'm
No,
gonna.
you're fine. You're giving us some good
Good.
facts and opinion.
Hmm.
That's fine.
Chicken cakes is a real thing.
Yeah, chocolate covered
I kind of get you on that because it's like that's survival. You
Yeah.
survive, and once they survive, like down here in the South, everything used to be cooked with lard. Everything,
True.
everything, and the reason wasn't because it was we just love cooking with lard. Velcro, gotta let go, girl. Wasn't because we loved cooking with lard so much. It was because it was a necessity. It really was a necessity down here. There
But
wasn't
lard
enough.
is delicious.
Lard is and lard turns out it's better for you than what we're than
It's
the
better than trans fats for sure.
exactly than the seed oils and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like
Call
so,
me.
what's up?
Have you tried the French fries at Steak and Shake while you've been on the road? Have you encountered that since they put the beef fat back in?
My Steak and Shake has not gone to beef tallow yet, but
Ours just did, and it's delicious.
yeah, I ordered for my dad and my stepmom. I ordered them a 5 pound thing of that, and it cost me holy crap! It cost me, but they're cooking with that again, and they were like, "Yeah, this is what we used to do. This is what we used to
That's
do.
awesome.
We saved the bacon fat. Everything they saved went back into production."
Gosh.
Wow. Hey, we're jamming.
Oh, German.
And also, like with the sugar that I was talking about earlier, we used to have soul food places all over the South where you would have food that had soul food and it was sugar added to it. And now there is it's rare to find a soul food place because everybody has stolen the soul food method and just thrown sugar in every damn thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we especially in America, we're addicted to
all
sugar.
their customers died.
And like that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that we think of as Chinese food, you know, the stuff that people, immigrants who are from China come here and they actually like go to these special schools where they learn how to make Chinese food for Americans. And basically what they do is they take the same kinds of foods that they make in China, but they add a whole bunch of fat and a whole bunch of sugar to make it like palatable for Americans. And
Yeah.
that says something. That says something about our diets.
Have you noticed some Chinese food tastes like urine, or what I would imagine urine would taste like? I mean, like mushu pork.
You're obsessed with urine
What
tonight.
is
I'm
the deal
convinced
with
we're
urine?
already eating bugs when you get mushu pork at a Chinese restaurant. I'm convinced it's cat urine, human urine. Hopefully,
I'm
kidding.
man.
I'm trying to be a shock jock tonight. I'm sorry.
Well, you're okay.
Sorry,
you're fine.
Yeah, the Chinese guy
happened?
came to America.
General
Tug is like,
Sales.
"Where's my bat? I want bat. Give me bat now."
You
I'll
need
give you
some
Batman,
General
a
Tso's
Batman
chicken
rerun.
in your life. What are you eating? Hey, look, Chance, stop going to Bankhead and getting Chinese food. All right.
Man, the Wuhan.
And for the record, General Tso's chicken is not something that exists in China.
Well, you know, Taco
I love
Over
that
there, they
have
just
no
call it
idea where it
food.
came from.
I mean,
Yeah, they don't. There's a whole documentary about it. It's
Yeah.
great.
Do you guys ever see Super Size Me? It's
Oh, yeah.
disgusting.
oh God, that show.
That was disgusting.
That documentary is actually built on lies, but you know, yeah.
There was a great parody that the Whitest Kids You Know did, where it was he did the Super Size Me except with whiskey. They were going. Please don't. He called him. He goes, "I have this bruise. I have this bruise. What's this about? Please stop what you're doing, sir. Please stop."
I did a video on Instagram. It got almost 1 million views because there was a Chinese restaurant where my friend of mine ordered Mongolian beef. There's hardly any beef in the dish, and it's an expensive Chinese place. Got it to go,
Of
went there,
course.
and we're like, look, there's no beef in this. And man, that video went nuts. But I was so pissed, called the restaurant, and they said, oh, we accidentally put the vegetarian dish from someone else in your bag. And said, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that, sir. They wound up giving me like a $50 credit or something. I've never been back since because I trashed them by name, and I'm sure it got back to them. Because like people are like, I'm calling that restaurant China Moon. And they've been around since 1987. They're actually a really good restaurant in the Atlanta area. But they screwed me like about a year ago to this day. They screwed my friend Tom on a beef dish. Sorry. Just a little rant. Sorry.
Moose,
Yeah.
that's from a stand-up routine, isn't it, Moose? Like I've heard that before. You be here for an hour. Yeah.
At the buffet, yeah.
Somewhere,
Reminds me
somewhere
of
in the back of a Chinese restaurant, there's a little Chinese man going, "He's talking about me again."
I keep on thinking about this one episode of Seinfeld. Seinfeld 4? Where they all just wait for a seat and they never get seated.
Oh yeah, that one. Oh god, I can't think of the actor's name.
Yeah, that actor's been around
The guy from
forever.
The Hangover, the doctor. He's a real doctor. You're talking about from
No. He was the villain in Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
The older man. Oh god, I can't think of his name, but he was the
He's
host
been-
at the podium. They were trying to grab
Marita?
something to
He's
eat
Japanese.
No,
I'm
no,
No.
before.
yeah.
No, I'm
That
kidding.
guy from
No,
Big Trouble
no,
in Little
no.
China.
I'm joking. Sorry.
That guy was in Big Trouble.
James
in Little
Hong
China.
or Victor.
That's it.
James Hong. Thank you.
I had to look
Yeah.
it up because it was going to bother me. He was also
Yeah, it
recently
was
in
gonna bother me.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Guy's still around.
Everything everywhere. Yes,
He's
that
like
dude
real
is
old and he's
gold.
still going on.
He is gold.
That's a good one, Caldy.
I envy him.
All right, where are we at? What are we doing?
I think Zach's getting ready for the next
Question
one.
number 3.
Give me a
could
fried
advanced
wonton any day, man.
help solve hunger and food insecurity?
How could advancements in food production help solve hunger and food insecurity?
Solid grain.
Well, you got to define food insecurity.
Grow your own.
hmm Do you know
If you
that they
can.
make farmers burn off a lot of their crops so that they don't give it to anybody else or sell it to anybody else other than the markets who they're, who are their clients, I suppose. And that's pretty sad because that would help a lot of people
That's
out
pretty
who don't
awful.
have anything. Yeah, they're told to burn. Well, I grew up in the Midwest, so it's like,
Oh man.
yeah, they tell the farmers to, if you have so much corn, you got to get rid of like a quarter's worth or something of your corn, and only sell to like Bird's Eye or something. It depends on what company or what corporation slams their name on it.
And
Well,
now
that
we got all the
sounds like
crazy ethanol subsidies and stuff. That's got to be an out of control problem.
Ooh.
They also do that with soybeans and other things like that, to where farmers around here will literally have a plot of land that they just make money off of by not growing. It's messed up.
That
It's
does
messed
not
up.
make sense.
Mhm.
That's
And
central
they-
planning. That's
And
awful.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I may be off on that a little bit, but it's something similar to that.
I believe it.
Can I say a quick joke? I mean, someone on the chat here, Bent Talk, said, "You are what you eat." The joke is, I'm going to clean it up.
Oh,
Okay.
hey,
Well, I
Ben
must-
Tuck.
Well, I must be a pussy because I just ate your wife. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Family show. You are what you eat. Okay. Was this thing
I
on?
got it. Yeah, we get it. Yeah.
Hi, Ben Tuck. Thanks for coming over.
I never knew they did that in the UK as well. Their music, that's pretty damn sad.
Yeah, I feel like that's a central planning issue. It's like I live near the cheese caves of Missouri. If you have any idea what I'm talking about,
I know what you're talking about.
it's
Yeah.
because they did
You
all
know
this-
I'm a truck driver. I know exactly where you're talking about.
they did all this like milk subsidies back in the late 70s, early 80s, and so there was tons and tons, and I mean that literally, of government cheese that was disgusting, but was only made so that these farmers could make a buck off of the government. And now there are these caves down in Springfield, Missouri that are filled to the brim with government cheese and have been closed off from the public and are just sitting there rotting.
Oh,
I'm worried that there's going to be an apocalypse when somebody opens one of those vaults and the cheese starts coming out. And yes,
oh shit! That's
Oh,
The
terrible.
problem with the problem with
you
government
see that look
cheese
on Zach's
is
face right now?
it don't melt.
no, it don't. Government cheese is not even really food. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's like
It's
sponge.
disgusting.
Hmm.
Same with the
It's
Costco
like
pizza.
eating.
It's not real.
No, Costco
Yeah.
pizza. Oh,
Horrible. That cheese.
Hmm.
You see that look on Zach's face? That look says, I wish I'd put the parental advisory up.
I was talking about cats, sir. Anyway.
Ah.
Meow.
I can't talk too much though because like I live in the St. Louis area and they put this stuff called Provel cheese on everything and it's nasty. Hate it.
Provel
I like
cheese.
St. Louis pizza though. I like Chicago pizza. What Tracy's familiar with
Chicago
the
pizza is
deep dish.
amazing. Yes,
But I like St. Louis.
Love.
It's like rectangular. At least when I used to go there and get it, it was good.
I mean, a lot of people like St. Louis pizza. I think it's disgusting.
I like it. It's nostalgic.
I'm not a native.
God blast my channel.
Give
I
me
was
a
not
give me a
aware-
Brooklyn style pizza or give me a Chicago deep dish and I'm happy.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I was not aware St. Louis had a style of pizza.
Oh, it's nasty. It's
Yeah.
like it's thin
It's
crust
rectangular.
that's got the Propel cheese and it's just sausage. I don't get it.
Oh,
I like
See, like I know that like that pizza's like that too. Like in New York, they have it very very thin, and you could like flip it over and eat it like a sandwich.
Or, yeah, like
Mhm.
tacos.
Yeah, yeah.
big old. That's what I had the other day, Tracy. You guys would have loved it. Tug. There's a place that has classic arcade games, pinball machines. It's been open 9 months here in the Marietta, Georgia area. You would love it. It had 2 slices of cheese pizza and a drink for under $10. It's real
Oh,
New York
man.
pizza.
That sounds
It's so
amazing.
good.
That sounds
Oh
fun.
man, yeah. And they have also Shane. We got to go and meet there for lunch one day.
yes.
It's great. They have Marvel stuff on the walls. It's geek. It's so good. And the pizza.
You had me at pinball.
I hit the high score on Galaga on Thursday afternoon. Galaga. Anyway,
I've been to Max Local Eats. It is a good place. Good call. That's right across from Forest Park. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Zach. What?
Yeah, you got one coming in, Zach.
You should make yourself big so we all shut up.
Yeah.
The reality of food insecurity is a deep, painful issue that has affected millions for generations. Hunger is not just about access to food but also about the ability to sustain oneself with nutritious, wholesome, and culturally appropriate foods. Technology often gets touted as the answer to these problems, promising solutions through efficiency, mass production, and automation. However, the more we rely on technology to solve these issues, the more we risk losing sight of what truly sustains us, not just in terms of calories, but in terms of community, connection, and self-sufficiency. True food security comes not from technology but from a return to the natural processes that have sustained human life for millennia. We've learned to grow, preserve, and share food in ways that are deeply tied to our local environments and communities.
nice.
Relying too heavily on high-tech solutions like genetically engineered crops, lab-grown meat, or vertical farming systems in urban centers distorts the relationship we have with our food. It isolates us from the land, from our roots, and from each other. Technology may provide temporary fixes, but it will never replace the resilience of a community that knows how to grow its own food. Small-scale, community-driven food production models hold the key to solving hunger. People need not just access to food but also the tools, knowledge, and autonomy to grow it themselves. When individuals and communities can rely on local resources, even modest plots of land, and traditional agricultural practices, they are empowered. There is a power in the act of planting a seed, caring for a crop, harvesting it, and sharing it. This model of food production doesn't require a complex infrastructure of automated systems or high-tech machinery. It requires human knowledge, patience, and a deep connection to the cycles of the earth. Whether it's backyard gardens, small family farms, or urban farming initiatives, these methods allow communities to become less dependent on distant supply chains and large-scale industrial food systems that often contribute to hunger in the first place by prioritizing profit over people. The more we embrace local, sustainable farming, the more resilient we become in the face of economic disruptions, supply chain breakdowns, or unforeseen global crises. The focus should be on returning to a system that values people over profit, connection over convenience, and sustainability over consumption. Technology has its place, especially in terms of making existing food systems more efficient and less wasteful. However, when technology is used as a crutch, we miss the chance to create lasting change. Instead of investing heavily in the next generation of lab-grown meats or automated farming robots, the focus should be on ensuring that every community has access to the tools and education needed to grow its own food, whether in rural or urban areas. Teaching people how to build soil health, preserve heirloom seeds, and create sustainable food systems is a far more effective way of combating hunger in the long term than relying on complex technological solutions that may come with hidden costs, environmental impact, or ethical concerns. By moving towards a more localized, human-driven food system, we create a culture of food security that is resilient, adaptive, and sustainable. People who are empowered to grow their own food not only feed themselves but also build stronger, more connected communities. UP out.
Well, I mean, everything you just said there, you really said what you already said with 3 words that you did say: connection over convenience. I really like that. I want a T-shirt that says that. That's some real stuff right there, man. Connection over convenience.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, you
But yeah, like
you kind of answered your own question there.
I guess if you look at it, how do you say, in the sense of the community gardens, are we getting that? Are we getting that connection, or are these people? What is the shame level of people that are doing these community gardens? I've seen some. I see people that are interact with each other, and seen others that will sneak in there, and it's just like, who are we really connecting with? Who are you contributing when you sneak in? Um,
I mean, yeah, that is a
who
problem.
who's managing this? Yeah, that's the problem I have with community gardens. If there's so much access, you got your dirty players, but I guess in a good community, yeah, you got a lot of people meeting new people and hey, how you doing? Da, 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 sharing methods and how they do this, how they grow that, da da da, what they're doing, da da da, da, new methods for this, new methods for that. A lot of connection. Instead of a grocery store, it's like your shopping cart hit my shopping cart. Oh well, yeah, you need to get out of my way. I need to get home to my 4-year-old. And it's like connection over convenience. Maybe it's just y'all know what I'm talking about. Shut up.
I get road rage at the grocery store. So yeah.
I do too.
I don't like
Thank
going.
you,
Walking
um,
behind that person that don't know how to push a shopping cart, and it's just like they're all over the aisles. Like, you move. I've blown a fake horn at people in
uh,
the.
I do think that there is like kind of a catch 22 with some of these community gardens, especially in like really low income places,
Mhm.
where you need to have a strong community in order for it to actually be sustainable and for it to work. But it can also
Yeah.
help grow that community. So like you have to have the community to grow the community. It's very that can be a problem, and I can see
Mhm.
that. Um,
We have a what they call a community garden up the road here, where this guy will like let people plant food and stuff like that. and it's literally there is a bucket that is hanging on a thing, and you pay what you will. And the guy just he is always hearing from people. So and so took too much, and this is his. I Hey, I put it up for
Ooh.
pay what you will.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
Talking about a flashback to Superman the movie, the blind guy runs the newsstand with the seeing eye dog.
Oh yeah.
Hey, don't see. Otis tries to steal a pack of peanuts. I'm sorry, I don't know. Movies on the
He
brain.
found a way to sneak nostalgia in there. I love it. I love it.
Oh man.
I think a community garden like that can work in like here in the Midwest. I think it would almost always work. You're not gonna. It's not gonna be that much of an issue just because of the culture. But if you put one like in the middle of Central Park in New York, the thing will last a day.
Yeah, if that.
Like I think the guy, and like I haven't spoken to him directly about this, but next time I see him, I'll ask him. But I don't think he cares about that because most people that are going there are not, they're people that are low income that need that food.
Yeah, they need the food, and like, how much can they actually steal? I mean, we're talking about actual plants that you have to pull out of the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Mhm.
It's an ideal, and I do love the ideal, and I like that they're making a comeback. I like that there's more and more of them. But yeah, I mean, there's always issues. That's life, right?
Yeah. There's always people that are going to take advantage of it at some point and kind of ruin the fun for people. But on the other end, it's
I think it's a net bet. There's pros and cons, but I think the pros outweigh the cons.
And I'm sure I know when I talk to this guy, he's going to go like, "I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it
for the community, for the people,
literally
right?
to help people out." Yeah,
which is awesome. Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah,
more
I
power
mean,
to
I
them.
like. I like those community gardens. I mean, they have them in the suburbs too. Even the rich folk do that up north. I mean, like in Chicago, you go to like a town called Winnetka, which is like the highest per capita tax rate in the country, and they have victory gardens in there too. And those people already have thousands of dollars, and it's not considered new money; they're considered old money because
Oh
those
yeah.
homes that they live in are like from the 1800s, and their daddies had mansions, their mommies had mansions. It's ridiculous. But I mean, they are growing stuff, and sometimes they will, donate it to like a food shelter or something like that, out of the goodness of their heart, so to speak.
Man, trying to show you that there's that
You know,
pizza.
you know, you know, if I was if I was all dirty and like a criminal, I can get all kind of food. Everybody around me grows gardens. They're everywhere. I got two or
Hmm.
three of them I could walk to in 2 minutes, but I really go to the store and buy my stuff. I'm too lazy to go out there and pick stuff out of the garden.
I
Yeah.
will say,
Like,
like when I started gardening in this house, like not too long, like a few years ago when I first moved in, I had a garden in the backyard. It was a tiny little plot, right? But like I was amazed at how much food you can get out of very little space. Like I had a surplus. I was like giving stuff away to all my neighbors just because there was so much, until the squirrels came, and then they
Squirrels, rabbits, and
Oh,
caterpillars.
wow.
They
Yeah.
destroy everything.
that
Yeah,
looks
Chad.
amazing. That's
That's
Solar
my
Chad.
thing.
Slice, like the solar system. Solar Slice, Marietta, Georgia. Support them
Man,
if you're
when
passing
I
through.
when I think of pizza, that's kind of what I think of. Yeah, that looks amazing.
Every time I used to play Atlanta, we'd stop at the Marietta Diner on the way into Atlanta.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
man.
wow.
You get your money's worth there.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
little video I shot of Solar Slice walking in. I'm not gonna, no audio or nothing. Keep talking, y'all. I'll just put that up for.
Good point. You should just eat the squirrel and rabbits. Just go out there with a gun.
You shoot your eye out, kid.
Or heck, I'm an Eagle Scout. I can use a bow and arrow. I can do that way. Yeah, insects are a problem sometimes too.
Mm.
Ugh.
Question number 4. What are your thoughts on personalized diets based on DNA or health data?
You do you, boo.
Mhm.
I'm gonna eat what I'm gonna eat.
I think in general, most people know what they need to do to eat right.
Mhm.
I really do think most people understand. I don't think it's very complicated. But if you do have like special medical needs or you're
Mhm.
diabetic,
Mhm.
things like that, I do think that you can definitely benefit from something like meal planning.
Mhm.
I don't know about DNA, like that seems a little dystopian.
Extreme.
Basically,
Yeah.
most of those concepts,
What object from the Daily Wire are you talking about that you wear on your wrist? Like that
I
sounds.
mean, like I'm not too far off, man. But
Yeah, yeah.
I got the
Wow.
matching
Taking
one there.
intravenous
Yeah.
today. I like deal a meal myself. Richard Simmons,
Oh God.
God rest his soul.
See?
That works for me. Oh, look at that. You get vaxxed?
No, yeah, but
no,
I
it's
mean,
a
this
it's
is
a it's a
it's for blood
diabetes thing.
sugar.
I
Yeah,
Yeah, we're twins in that way.
yeah. We're
And
cyborgs.
and
That's
and
right.
and and Tracy, I wanted to tell you, you were talking about shopping for diabetics earlier. Like my mom
Mhm.
was diabetic. That was
Yeah,
hell. That was literal
back in
hell
the day,
going
it
in,
really was.
trying to get bread. You would have to get the 8 carbohydrate bread. If they
Yeah,
had it in, if they didn't
Mhm.
have that in, you'd have to find this other thing. Is
Mhm.
That's right.
that's one
I
thing where I
remember
think
those days.
progress, technological progress, and
I
just
mean, a lot.
trade
It's come a
progress has really
long way
helped.
too.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
I'm glad I got diagnosed with diabetes when I did, and not 10 years earlier, because even that 10 years would have made a huge difference. It would have been so much more difficult.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm still dominating the conversation. Sorry.
No, you're not. You're fine, dude.
Would you let yourself
Like,
have
like
a break?
that,
101. That's a good thing, man.
Yeah.
that was literally when I realized sugar is in everything. It
Yes,
does not
Mhm.
matter what it is; it's in everything.
It's
Mhm.
my
I
crack.
think
Yeah, it's my
processed
crack.
foods, sugar, soda, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Mhm.
I mean, it's the reason I became diabetic. I used to
It's
weigh like
cancer.
400 pounds. I was huge.
Oh, gee.
Um, yeah, I lost a
Yeah, I
lot of
lost a
weight,
lot of
and
weight.
I did
A
it mostly
lot.
just from not drinking soda. Like, really, that was like the
How
big
much were you
thing.
drinking? Like 10 a day? 10, 12
I was
ounce cans?
drinking like a 12 pack a day. Yeah, of
Damn.
like
Yeah.
Mountain Dew.
Not
Um,
diet.
Oh
Okay.
Jesus!
not
No,
diet. Like I,
not
I
zero
still
sugar.
drink diet soda. I don't think diet soda is good for you, but I still drink it because I'm an addict. Um,
Yeah, I like pop, but I
I do
mean,
um,
too.
like back on diet.
I
but
love
yeah,
that.
if you're drinking too much soda, it's that stuff will kill you.
It's
Mhm.
cancer.
Um,
It will cause cancer in a lot of people. The
I do
if
sugar.
you're
think in
gonna
terms
drink
of
soda,
nutrition, we are getting
I
better.
recommend you drink like Coke Zero.
Yeah, I drink
Yeah.
Coke Zero. Yeah,
That's what I
that's
drink.
basically Splenda now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But no, like I do feel like we are getting better nutritionally.
Mhm.
I don't know if it. We still have our issues. Like we still have the high fructose corn syrup. We still have all the seed oils. We still have all that stuff. But I think people are getting more awake to that. Um, I don't know. I do feel like things are getting a little better.
I think
I
things
don't.
are.
Yeah.
I mean, because look, I've lost around like 40 pounds so far, but I remember back in the day, and I've got 40 more to go. So it's like, okay, so that's not bad. I'm where I need to be, kind of close to it. So I'm not that far off.
Yeah.
The only thing that's big on me is my face and and my butt. I've got thin legs. I look like a chicken.
And yes,
And
horsewoman, I have had my thyroid thoroughly checked. Thank you.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm on movie sets a lot, and it's like they want to kill us. All the snacks at craft services, it's all sugar based. Candy,
Yeah, stay
Even
famous
the
the
Amy
hell
pipe
away
dream.
from the
chocolate chip
donuts. Yeah.
cookies. But man, the catered food can't be beat. This is my food yesterday, like scallops and pasta and steak
Mhm.
and
Oh,
steak.
yum.
Where is it? I mean, it's just chicken, steak, scallops. Oh man, you can't beat it. Oh shoot. Oh yeah, there's my car today at the shop doing. Got the guys doing nothing. That's another story. I'm off topic. I'll save that for my own personal.
Y'all making me feel guilty about buying these Girl Scout cookies yesterday. Man,
Uh,
You supported. You supported them, but
My
you can get.
friend,
there's this girl. I
Uh-oh.
swear it was like a month and a half ago. It's a petrol truck stop out in oh wow, it's near Joliet, Illinois. Um,
I'm listening.
I park and I go out and go into the store, and this girl is just set up there at the table, and her mom's sitting in the SUV right there with her. And what I was just like, okay. And I was like, the first thing that pops in my mind is like, I didn't know the Girl Scouts were still a thing. I thought y'all merged with the Boy Scouts. Y'all still do Girl Scout cookies? This is
Mhm.
news to me. I didn't think nothing about it. And so that was like a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. I went up. I was there last night. And that same girl was still sitting there, same setup, and it was about 43, 44 degrees. And she's just sitting there with her big bundled up jacket, but she
Wow.
had it open just enough to show off her badge numbers and stuff
Oh,
for a scout
Oh
troop.
wow.
don't tell
And
me you
I'm
start
just
sniffing her
like,
hair now. You weren't sniffing her hair, were you?
no.
I
I'm
know. I
just
know.
like,
You're not buying me. I know.
your mom has you sitting out here shoveling these
Oh,
cookies in this weather? Are you kidding me? And I just kind of looked at it, analyzed it, and look the mom, and she just kind of waved at me. She was like, "Hey,"
Oh
and I was
God.
just like, "Hey," and the girl did the same thing. She's like, "Hey," and I'm just like, "Hmm."
I'm
And I
I'm gonna
looked at her.
I'm
And
gonna
I
let
looked
you
at
know
her
a
and
secret,
asked
man.
her, I'm like, why are you out here in the cold like this? She's like, I gotta support my troop.
Oh,
I'm like, you know what? I'll
that's
be
a true
back.
hurt.
And I went and hit the
Yeah.
ATM up. And I'm not gonna disclose the amount of cookies I bought from her.
Hey, Thin Mints
Well,
are
tell
better
us
when
what
they're chilled.
flavors. What you didn't like Thin Mints, did you? You like Thin Mints? That's
I
okay if you do.
love Thin Mints.
Your
I
sister like those. I hate
got
them.
the
You and I can no
Toffee
longer be friends. No, I'm just kidding.
Tastics, the Adventurefuls,
Tag along.
and
No,
what are
Tagalongs are good.
these? Yeah, tagalongs.
Samoas
Yeah,
are
right
good.
the
here.
peanut butter.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And I was eating the tagalongs while I was driving away from there. I'm just like, what have I done? It's just
Thin Mints are good. I was just teasing.
Nah, it's
With
fine.
Simon.
Well, I mean,
But
They
how
guy,
they, they
somebody?
they they need to do a documentary on Girl Scout cookies one day, because those ladies that
ooh,
sell that, they no
Mhm.
Buff, they are crazy. They
that
are
would be an
crazy
interesting.
about that competition. They are absolutely insane
and what
And
they're
they're
about
putting in the
like
sugars.
cookies.
And they're
It's
doing
addictive.
about
They're
okay,
crack
okay,
cookies.
dude.
about
Hey, hold on.
who gets who.
Stop music. Dude, let me tell Buff something he might not be aware of real quick.
All right,
Okay, you know they're not supposed to sell Girl Scout cookies, right?
Says who?
Make me big real quick.
What
Oh
are you
boy,
talking about that you
I'm
can't
not
do?
that close to you, so I
I'll
can't
do
make
it.
you
I was
big.
talking to whoever has the power.
Chance is doing it.
I'm trying. I'm failing. All right, let's see. I always mess it up. Look at that.
Oh,
Can you
What?
still eat Girl Scout
This
cookies
is
in
according
2025?
to what source?
Really?
It's all over the news. I saw it on CNN, man. There's lead in Girl Scout cookies.
Okay, that's not helping your case. You saw it on CNN. That is not helping your case.
Yes, bite me, Buff. You know, I'm just saying. I saw it on the news services. A bunch of
Everything is bad
a
for you.
bunch
Have you
of
learned
Girl
nothing
Scout
from
cookies got
California?
recalled for having lead and stuff in them. It's a big thing going on, and chances
A
are them cookies
freaking delicious. I mean,
they got recalled, and some woman's making some kids sell them to make money off some dummies. I'm trying to warn you. Go ahead and eat them,
I'm
Buff. I'm sure
pretty
I
they'll.
don't
sure that
know.
was. I'm pretty sure.
I saw it.
Come
Innocent,
on,
sweet
man.
little girl.
I'm
Maybe I got
sure they're
sucker.
fine.
Maybe
Go
I
ahead.
did.
I'm
But I
pretty sure there
saw an
was just
innocent
one
girl that I saw
manufacturing plant
twice.
that had an issue. But whatever.
Can I, guys? I'm gonna give you a tip. These cookies right here in my hand. You can get a whole batch of these about the same as a pack of Oreo. These are lemon cream by a little company in Alabama called Little Dutch Made. $1.25. Compare that to the price of Girl Scout. Now, Shane did the honorable thing. He's supporting that girl freezing her butt off. So I'm not disparaging that. I'm just saying, anyone out there that's on a tight budget, you want a snack, but it's sugar. So in moderation, of course. Diabetics, I'm sorry. This is good stuff.
I'm not eating
It's
none of
not.
that crap.
Yes, all of
And
these are
Not
bad for you,
crap.
by the way. Really
these
bad for you.
dude, these lemon creams
I'm not
sell
eating
out.
none of that. I'm not eating none of that sugary crap.
These
Really.
sell out. They have the regular, like the white filling. Those sit on the shelves collecting dust. These things, you can't find them. They're so good.
They look really good.
I gave these at the film festival last week to people along with popcorn. And I'm sorry, Zach's got something to say. So good.
Sure, we could. Science has proven that it is possible. Genes can be isolated, copied, transferred, and manipulated to create crops that resist pests, grow faster, tolerate drought, or contain more nutrients. Animals can be engineered for size, speed of growth, or to eliminate certain diseases. The question is not whether we can, it's whether we should. The genetic manipulation of crops and animals touches a line that was never meant to be crossed. The moment we begin rewriting the code of life itself, we step into a realm that belongs to God and nature. DNA is not a toy or a tool. It is the blueprint of creation. It holds the memory of generations, the instructions for growth, the wisdom of survival. Manipulating it in the lab strips it of that sacredness. It turns living beings into products, coded and recoded by men in lab coats chasing patents and profit. Crops that are genetically modified may resist pests, but they also eliminate the very biodiversity that naturally controls pests. They may grow faster, but the soil underneath them becomes depleted, synthetic, and dead. Genetically modified seeds are often designed to be sterile, meaning farmers can't save seeds from one harvest to the next. They are forced to return to the corporations that engineered them, making them dependent on a cycle that was once as simple and sacred as planting and reaping. Animals that are genetically engineered often live short, painful lives. Their bodies may grow fast, but their bones and organs suffer. Their health is not the goal. Their ability to produce is. When we mess with DNA, we are no longer stewards of creation. We are imposters trying to outsmart a system that has worked just fine for thousands of years. Food is not just fuel. It is information. What we eat becomes part of our cells, our minds, our future generations. There is no telling what long-term effects genetically modified organisms might have on human health. Allergies, hormonal changes, weakened immune systems, cancers, these are not wild ideas but documented possibilities. When we alter the DNA of what we eat, we risk altering the health and well-being of those who consume it. Children growing up on modified corn, animals raised on modified feed, entire cultures dependent on patented crops are being shaped by something artificial, something foreign to their natural development. There is wisdom in the food that comes from the earth as it was created. Seeds passed down through generations carry not just nutrients but identity, culture, and resilience. Feeding the future doesn't require the manipulation of DNA. It requires the restoration of old wisdom. It requires returning to heirloom seeds, rotating crops, building living soil, raising animals with respect, and giving local farmers back their power. It requires trusting the process of nature and understanding that enough food exists when it is distributed with justice, grown with care, and shared with love. Genetically modifying life might offer the illusion of progress, but it always comes with a price. And the ones who pay that price are rarely the ones making the decisions in the lab. UP out.
I thought we were talking about Girl Scout cookies. Where the hell did that come from?
Thank you, Zach.
I'm just going to agree to disagree and leave it at that. I've already said my piece.
Yeah, I was about to say, Zach, that's kind of the argument we were having earlier, where it's like, if people need to eat, you got to make the food.
That's right.
You will eat your grasshopper covered gelatin solvent green and enjoy it.
Last thing about these cookies, okay? When I were talking about Girl Scout cookies, I misspoke. They're made in Texas. I said Alabama. This is a place called I'm sorry. Look, made in the USA. That's a good thing right there. The USA flag. You can't see it, but it's in. Help me out with the pronunciation. Abilene, Texas.
Abilene,
Abilene.
Texas.
Abilene, Texas. Yeah, that's where these are made. $1.25. I mean, what a deal! They're delicious. I sound like
Are you sponsored by them?
Yeah, exactly. Did the little Dutch girl sponsor you?
They're good.
This isn't even the first time he's brought them up.
Dutch made.
It's the first time for me.
Sounds like
Only 150 calories per serving. What
Oh
is a
dear
serving?
God, he's sponsored by
How much is a serving? Like one cookie?
I know. I'm trying to figure out what a serving size is.
If you
Let
use
me
my
just say
promo
something.
code,
Probably two cookies. It's
So,
probably
Chance,
It's
two
freaking
cookies.
Spanish. That's why I can't. Oh, I have it upside down. Here's the English side. Hang on.
Yeah, the
Every
serving
size.
size is probably two cookies.
I
Sorry, I was reading
can't
the wrong.
read this. Is in Spanish. Oh, let me turn it around. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they got one side Spanish, one side regular. Okay. All right.
Yeah, when you
Oh,
buy
it
What
says,
side is
Zach,
regular?
Zach, it says contains. It says contains a bioengineered food ingredient. Uh-oh, I didn't know that. Now
Uh
that's why. So
oh.
that's crack cocaine, ladies and gentlemen. All right.
I'm
Like
not gonna
Checkers puts
tell
in their
you
shake.
what it is.
So I see that somebody made a trip to the Dollar Tree, $1.25 tree for those
That's
cookies.
that's where he gets them.
I'm not sure I
Yeah.
trust, but language is printed on it.
Nice, Caldy. Nice.
I did. It was at the Dollar Tree. You're right, Tracy, because it's next to my comic book shop, and that's where I get my candy for the movies. I sneak it in.
God.
That's exactly where you get candy for the movies. Where I go to get candy for the movies.
Why pay more? Yeah.
I wear my
Yeah,
cargo
$6
pants.
for a box of Goobers.
I'm excited about being on Tug's show tomorrow with Danny and maybe Sarah and whoever. That's going to be good. And of course, Thrash, our friend Thrash,
Thrash,
Bonner Barnes, he's on there every time. That's going to be good. We're talking about movies and TV shows that have been remade. That's all I got to say about that. But it's going to be
talk about it, yeah.
F you, Tug.
What?
a four-parter.
That's
You
a
know,
show I need to be on.
Oh yeah, good. The good and the bad and the
Well, what are
ugly.
you
I'm
doing
good
tomorrow?
and bad. Good and bad.
I'm gonna be driving to Pennsylvania tomorrow.
See, the problem is on Sundays you tend to be busy. So
Yeah, I'm
What
always
a bummer.
in.
Oh,
Mm.
oh man.
Quack quack.
So,
quack.
Chance, do you
Question
want to
number
drop
5.
your
How do you think
promo?
traditional farming and cooking methods will fit into the future of food?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
would you mind repeating the question?
How do you think traditional farming and
Question
cooking
number 5. How do you think traditional farming and cooking methods will fit into the future of food?
You ever
Did
see
you really
Wrong
ask
Turn?
that question?
Cook it in a big old wok, and they're gonna put it in outer space. I don't know. That's a good question, though, for real.
No, I
I'll
do
figure
think
out how to
traditional
do
farming and
stir
cooking
fry.
methods should always be part of the equation. Like,
It'd be like,
as much as I do disagree with the statement that we shouldn't be afraid of technological progress in terms of food, I do also agree that we always need to have the old ways there. And yeah, I've said my piece.
I won't microwave anything. Microwaving is cancer. I have no scientific basis. I will not, and I've not microwaved in anything microwave that I'm aware of. And I haven't had tap water since 1997. Stay away from tap water. I have not had tap water that I'm aware of since 1997. Spring water only, or distilled water or purified drinking water.
Well,
enough said. I'll
have a discussion about the water shortage, but that's a whole other topic.
Yeah. Microwaving is bad for you, I think. I'm not a doctor, not a medical person, but
Millions of truck drivers disagree.
oh. Well, I pray you don't get cancer, my friend. You probably won't, hopefully.
He ain't got to worry. Them cookies probably take you about.
I mean, I understand your reasoning, but here's the problem: you grew up when the microwave was invented, and so you grew up through that hype and fear, that uneasiness about the nuclear
New
power and all that
technology.
stuff.
You're radiating your food.
Microwaves are very safe, allegedly.
Well, Shane, I got another one for you. When you go to the dentist and they X-ray you, why they put lead all over your body, but not on where they're zapping? It goes right into your brain.
Not an X-ray machine.
What's up with that? Microwaves, X-rays, it's all the same.
You get as much ionizing radiation in your body over 2 days than you do for one X-ray. It's just cosmic background radiation.
Gamma rays.
Gamma rays, cosmic rays.
You know, there's a hole up in this ozone layer. We're getting irradiated every day.
Hmm.
Live life. I mean,
That
why
hole's been
not?
closed for years, by
It's
the way.
I try not to live in fear, Shane. I try not to.
Well, I don't
Just the
microwave
guy that
my
don't use
hamburger
microwave.
helper or Chef Boyardee and trying
Well,
to see its insides and molecular structure. Um, my
What?
Your
microwave, I
McDonald's
think,
may have
is
been
still in.
microwaved, right, Shane? The McDonald's may have. You don't know. We don't know. They might have zapped an old patty. It wasn't fresh off the grill, like the smoke coming up the top of the Burger King at lunchtime. When they
No,
change over from breakfast to lunch, then you know you're getting it hot off the grill, right?
Look,
they
any
do
any health
4
not.
o'clock
issue
in the
you
afternoon
get
after
from
lunch, you get to
microwaving
microwave old stuff. Sorry.
a
They do
McDonald's
not
patty or your Chef
microwave.
Boyardee is not as bad as the actual patty and the Chef
Chef
Boyardee. Okay,
Boyardee itself.
Fresh is always best. Steak and Shake, or even Five Guys, or your own. Make your own.
yeah,
Cook
make
your
your
own.
own, man. It's always
Make your
better to
own.
make your own.
I couldn't kill a cow. Go that far, like
Yeah.
Mr. Morris.
Oh, you give
But
me
I'll
5 minutes
cook
with
it
a
still.
cow.
I live in deer hunting town, so
Alligator shooting here.
I'd
Hey,
like to
hey,
see the
hey,
look on.
Chance.
I'd like to see
Here's.
the look on
Go ahead,
Chance's
Diddy.
face when he was out in the woods and he's standing there and we're field dressing a deer.
Yeah, and the other thing is, hey,
Breath.
Chance, you don't kill the cow. You just raise the cow. You have the cow on your pasture. You
Mhm.
send it off to the place.
The slaughterhouse.
They slaughter it. You get a ton of meat from that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got a guy.
I've seen
for
Texas
your
Chainsaw Massacre. I worry about whether that meat is actually cow.
Your cow, Chance.
I
I got a guy.
I don't ask questions about where the meat shows up in my freezer. I just pull it out of my freezer and throw it into my microwave. Chance.
You cook your meat in the microwave.
But has anyone on the panel had frog legs? I have
Oh,
not.
Yes.
Or escargot, the snails. I can't do that. Never
No,
have.
escargot's gross.
Never had the
I'm
escargot.
Southern, not French.
I know those French
I
weirdos.
have had frog legs. It just tastes like chicken.
I
Yeah,
have frog legs too,
literally.
but I don't eat no bugs.
poor
No
Kermit.
offense to any French out there. I'm part French, so I can say
Oh,
that.
we gotta
It's
shut
like
up.
that scene from the
I'm
Muppet
part
movie.
a-hole.
All I can
French
see is
or
a
a-hole.
bunch
Here we go
of
again.
frogs on crutches.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
Tradition and cultural food knowledge are the roots of survival. These are the lessons passed down through voices, stories, and hands stained with soil. This is where true nourishment begins. Families that knew how to grow, preserve, and prepare food without relying on machines or synthetic shortcuts understood more than just recipes, they understood life. They lived through hard winters, dry summers, and scarce times, and they made it through by leaning on what had been passed to them from the generation before. This wasn't just food. It was wisdom. It was patience. It was rhythm. The way a grandmother kneads dough, the way a father stores away beans, the way an aunt cans tomatoes in a boiling pot while humming an old tune, that is power. That is the foundation of self-sufficiency. In every culture, there are foods that define identity. The way they are cooked, the ingredients chosen, the tools used, they all tell a story. They tell the story of who we are, where we come from, and what we've overcome. These foods are not mass-produced, genetically altered, or processed into sterile packages. They are grown with intention. They are gathered with respect. They are prepared with hands that understand the land, the seasons, the needs of the body. They are passed on with love, through memory, not machines. Tradition does not just feed the stomach. It feeds the soul. It holds together the threads of communities, families, and cultures. Once that thread is broken, it is hard to repair. Being self-sufficient starts with honoring those traditions. A generation that knows how to plant seeds, ferment cabbage, dry herbs, raise chickens, or make broth from bones is a generation that doesn't panic when the shelves go bare. A generation that knows how to forage what grows wild, store food for the winter, make a fire to cook on, and treat illness with foods from the earth is a generation that cannot be controlled by fear or dependence. Food becomes freedom. Knowledge becomes armor. The wisdom of how to survive cannot be downloaded from an app. It must be learned, practiced, and shared. When that wisdom is kept alive, it makes every generation stronger. In the future, tradition will matter even more. The world is moving fast. Technology is replacing hands-on skills with shortcuts. Fast food is replacing home-cooked meals. Children are growing up not knowing how food grows, what it looks like in the ground, or how to prepare it with their own hands. That is dangerous. That is the beginning of forgetfulness. Once we forget how to feed ourselves, we are no longer free. But if we protect the old ways, teach them, value them, and pass them down with the same urgency as any inheritance, we give our children something technology never can. We give them the strength to stand on their own. We give them the ability to feed themselves, feed others, and rebuild when systems fail. That is the future of food. Not engineered. Not artificial. But remembered. UP out.
You know, here, buddy, in where I live in South Carolina, we got horticulture in schools, and we got the Future Farmers of America.
Mhm.
I don't know no fifth grade or sixth grade kids in South Carolina that don't know how to farm because I live in a hillbilly state where it's required.
We got that here too.
In
Yeah.
Illinois too.
And as much as I have been combative with you, Zach, I actually 100% agree with what you just said. Like, yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing to
Most,
say on that one.
most of that applies to the people that live in Hooterville or Bug Tussle.
I do think it's
Um,
very important for those skills to be passed
mhm,
down forever. Like, no matter what
mhm,
happens. Like, I do think everybody needs to have some.
mhm.
And I would say that's being picked up by younger generations where, like, my generation, it was lost on us.
Yeah, like I grew up on TV dinners in the microwave, Chance. In the
Yes.
microwave.
Yeah,
Completely lost on me.
we're in
That's why you got
tinfoil in the
diabetes.
oven.
No.
Like there was a thing, and I know this for a fact because I've talked to my dad about it, where he grew up dirt poor, having to pick cotton, like sharecrop and stuff like that, and what he wanted was a better life for us. And as a result of that, we lost some of those skills because he wanted the better life for us. When I think maybe the better life would have been staying down on the poverty scale. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, then.
No, I mean like that there's actually wisdom to that. There really
Mhm,
is.
mhm.
For real.
I
I
think
remember
I
that
think
3
a
days I
generation that has been too coddled by things like that, they definitely lose something. And I feel like our generation, I know you're not, you and I are basically the same age. Like
Yeah.
our generation, we got screwed by that. We
Yeah.
really did. I didn't learn how to deal with gardening and stuff until, recently, and I grew up as an Eagle Scout, for crying out loud. I should know this stuff.
Yeah.
I know a lot of 4-H kids who are of the same thing.
Am I the only one here that grew up on a farm and had to work?
Yes.
Am I the only one that's ever used hay, fed hay and milked cows and fed chickens and did all that horrible stuff?
I had to do that when I went to my aunt's house, but I
Yeah,
never
that
did
was
that at
it. It
home.
was my aunt
Yeah, I
and
did
uncle.
that on my uncle's farm.
Yeah. My grandparents would make me go to my aunt and uncles and help these old people take care of their farm every summer.
We ain't got that kind of land here in Georgia, man. We got clay.
Yeah,
Uh,
in Chicago
it
we
ain't
don't
like
have any of
fertile.
that.
Yeah, I grew up in the urban sprawl of Orlando, so
I didn't mind
Yeah.
picking the watermelons, but I tell you what, them old potatoes, they a pain in the butt. They got them ground.
Hey, Eric Tug. My grandpa lived in Kirkwood, Missouri, and he had a little mini farm, and he taught me how to grow carrots. He had things you couldn't plant in Georgia. I always wanted to. He made his own carrots and, of course, tomatoes and all that. It was really,
no,
really
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
carrots and
He was
tomatoes are some of the easiest things
how
to
he
start
worked.
growing. So, like, I think,
And pickles too, like cucumbers and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a nice little
Cool.
garden.
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
I'll tell you guys a little story about the Deep South and like the early days. Like, and this wasn't when I was around. This was like when my dad was going around. So like the 50s and the 60s when watermelon first really started growing up in the South. people used to get shot for stealing watermelons, like literally. That's how they guarded. They had they would guard their watermelon patches, and they would shoot you with a shotgun if you were
Get
stealing.
up with a old buckshot right there if it catches you
Yep.
under water.
Watermelon season, get out of my land.
Yep.
Yeah.
Damn.
I thought you were going to trigger Shane when you said the old days in the South. Shane likes to make a joke and go, "Are you talking about slavery?" Anyway.
Well, me
Is
and
Shane
Cody
there?
are both. Me
No,
and
no,
Cody are
we're
both
literally from the
from
same
Mississippi.
area.
Me and
No, when
Cody are
he
both
said
from
in the old days of the
Mississippi.
South, called he. I'm okay. I
Is this
just
show about over?
And speaking of shooting people or being in your fields of taking your crops, I work cotton fields. I mean,
what's that woman's name?
I have actually picked cotton once. or
Paula
twice.
Dean.
No, not Paula. Oh, she got
Oh,
hit
no?
in the head with a
Oh, okay.
frozen ham once. I'll never forget it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, at a charity event, Thanksgiving charity event. Hosea Williams.
Did she go down?
Someone they were doing like a little relay with the ham. Someone miscued and hit her right in the face. It was all over the news.
I'm sorry, the randomness of that just completely got me.
Where we go?
Should I be laughing at this? I don't know.
Now, how did some cookies you eat and makes you laugh at strange things?
All right, where we at? What we doing?
Yeah.
What's the play here?
Zach, you got another one for us?
No, that was the last question, I think.
Thank God.
Say the words open panel.
All right.
I think it's been open for quite a while.
Let's really talk about what?
What, watermelon?
Oh
You
God.
know, the watermelon was first developed in. You know what I don't know.
Oh, criminy sake.
We're going to talk about watermelon and fried chicken.
Oh my God.
Oh, jeez.
Delicious.
Oh man.
Well, you know, up north.
Who
where
doesn't
soccer
like
teams-
watermelon and fried chicken? Hey, I know black people that hate watermelon.
A
Fried
vegetarian
chicken,
vegan,
haven't
but
met
other than
one
that,
yet.
I really don't like fried chicken.
I'm not a big fan of chicken either. Really, I'm not.
I like
do you like
barbecue.
rotisserie, Tracy?
Yeah, that's good. Or baked.
I like fried
I
chicken.
eat chicken, but it ain't my
Okay.
favorite food.
Alright.
I like
I like
all
all
kinds
kinds
of
of
chicken.
I like grilled chicken.
Yeah, that's good too for you too.
Okay.
Very
Fair
expensive
enough.
grilled
Fair
chicken.
enough.
Publix
No.
fried chicken's the best.
No,
I
it used to bother me, man, because like I said, I spent a lot of time on farms, and I'd feed the chickens and get the eggs and all that stuff, and then my favorite chicken will wind up missing. I was like, where'd that big red chicken go? And then
Yeah.
and then there'd be a bucket of chicken on the table at dinner time. It didn't come prepared.
Oh,
That's where you went, Colonel.
no.
For the panel, Jake Hudson suggested we do a topic. Of course, Chrissy can decide or help us decide about religious movies. I don't know about that one. I don't know. I'm not against it, but that's just maybe that's something for Tug. I don't know. Tug, are you atheist? Are you kind of on the atheist side?
I don't talk about religion.
But I will talk. If I would talk about Charlton Heston and the Ten Commandments.
It was on tonight, right? One of
I
my
talk
Jewish friends.
about. I talk about Life of Brian. I mean,
Tracy.
Tracy,
one of my Jewish friends said, you probably agree with this. I probably shouldn't mention his name, but he said, he's in the Nostalgia Podcast Facebook group, and he said, finally, ABC got it right. They played the Ten Commandments on Passover. It's a movie about Passover, not Easter. That's what this gentleman's opinion was.
Yeah, that's actually accurate. Yeah.
I think I agree with it. I agree with it.
But I mean, not to take away from the film, but it was a good film. You know,
Charlton Heston, 1959.
Yeah, he was not a piece of junk. He was a good actor. Back then they had actors who could sing, dance, and act. You know, and it's like that's why they were called the triple threat, because they could sing, dance, and act. You can find me one person today who could do that.
Yeah,
dance and act. I'll give you Chris Tucker.
Okay.
Will Smith.
That's the closest I can get to. He does great Michael Jackson.
And Charlton Heston should have been in Meteor. I know no one knows what movie I'm talking about. I wish he were
I
in
know
Meteor.
that movie.
Yeah.
What about the one with Sean Connery, the old one?
Yeah, Martin Landau. Yeah, but the Meteor and Miracle on 34th Street. Having the little girl, Natalie Wood, who got killed, murdered by Christopher Walken on the ship.
I think so.
Yeah, they say it was Robert Wagner, but I always thought
It was an actor.
I don't know. I wasn't there, but I always thought Christopher Walken's just too weird. You know, he was there. I don't know. My spidey sense says he choked her out and threw her overboard. I don't know.
Oh God.
I don't know though. Sorry, BBB family show.
It's an
We're not
actor.
into conspiracy theory.
What can you say after that?
Needs more cowbell? I don't know.
So how about that local sports team?
Which one?
The sports ball.
The
Okay.
little one. Go team, go.
Hey,
I
cursed.
cursed. We see you cursed. You can't hide from us.
Wow.
I did talk about that when I did my video on Brainstorm, but I
like
tried to skirt how I actually feel about what happened to Natalie Wood because I don't know, I wasn't there. But
Correct. But we can
something
speculate.
definitely happened.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, you
Murder.
can say something definitely happened. I agree
was
with
murder.
that.
Yeah. me
Yeah,
too.
I do think murder was involved. Who did it? How? No idea. But
That's the
Correct.
same way.
I don't
feel-
buy the story that she just fell overboard.
Oh yeah.
That's the
That's
same way.
nonsense.
That's the same way I feel about Marilyn Monroe. I think she was killed,
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
There's
Yeah,
Probably by
probably.
no doubt
JFK.
about that.
and she was a
We don't
lovely
know.
woman.
Maybe those files will get released the way things are coming out these days. Who knows?
Marilyn
If
Monroe they killed Marilyn Monroe because she didn't want to tell about the aliens and stuff that Kennedy told her about.
Norma Jean, you mean? Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. You ever see? Man, that was a good HBO movie, Norma Jean, with
Mhm. Yeah, I saw
Yeah, I remember
that.
that. Yeah.
Good.
with help me out, Ashley Judd. Man,
Yeah,
that
it was
was
Ashley
a weird
Judd.
movie.
Oh,
She's
that
a
was-
great actress. She's
Oh,
Oh
really good.
God.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Damn it.
I remember falling in love with her just from Star Trek. She was Wesley's girlfriend for a single episode of
Oh,
Star
wow.
Next Generation. Yeah.
Trek. Yeah.
See, we should do a topic on triple threats, triple threat talents, sing,
Yeah.
dance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
There's some. Eddie Murphy's one. I don't know if he
Yeah.
can dance. He can sing and
Cary
he can act.
Grant,
Um,
obviously.
He can
I
dance. He can
think
dance.
Eddie
dance,
can dance.
He can dance.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
he can.
No, I don't want to be on.
All you have to do is watch the SNL skit "Too Hot in the Hot Tub." He can dance. He can dance.
Yeah, and he danced in damn Coming to America.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
can dance.
Oh, okay.
Dance because he
Jake-
does James
Jake-
Brown.
Well, even though we just accused him of being an accessory to murder, Christopher Walken
Yeah.
also counts.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Here's one of Fat Boy Slim video.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
God.
Caldy, who were you saying you got drowned out? Who?
Sorry.
Jamie Foxx.
Okay. Oh yeah, James.
Oh, Jamie Foxx, good one.
Mhm, he's good.
Yeah, Jamie can dance. Yeah.
And that's also the only, as far as I
Okay.
can remember,
Okay,
when you
okay.
look
They
back
don't have
to
to
the
sing or dance.
soundtrack, that
Good,
it
they just
sounded
have to
just
do it,
like
right?
the guy that sang it originally.
Mhm.
So they don't have to do it good. They just have to sing and dance, right?
How about Elvis Presley, the King?
He couldn't act.
No,
Oh,
at all.
Ooh,
shots fired! Shots fired!
I might have to agree with you on that one. He was just play. I mean, he just played himself in all his movies.
Yeah,
It's
he's
like,
kind of
well,
the
it's
same.
just
You're right.
you.
Don't get me wrong. I love Elvis. I actually have an Elvis suit in my closet. Don't need to explain it. But no, the main.
What is that
Oh,
required?
Tug, would you wear that for your show
If
one
you're in
day?
a movie, if you're in a movie,
It
and you
probably
act,
would hang
does it
off of
matter
me because
if
I
it's
bought
good
it
or
when I
bad?
weighed 350 pounds.
Stuff some pillows in it. We won't notice.
It was the old age of Elvis.
Old
Towards the
age
end.
Elvis.
It's
Caught
white,
in a
sequenced,
trap.
whole 9 yards. But yeah,
Can't
Gene
let
Kelly.
go.
Gene Kelly could sing and dance and act.
Gene
going
Kelly,
way
of course,
back.
obviously.
But
yeah.
those are like the old
The
timers.
golden age.
What
Right.
about
Most
Dick
of the Rat
Van?
Pack guys,
Not
yeah.
Dick Van Dyke. Jerry Van Dyke.
Actually,
Oh,
Dick Van Dyke,
Dyke.
right there too. That would be a triple threat too.
Mhm.
absolutely. Right on,
Sammy
Calder.
Davis
That
Jr.,
that
Frank
dude was.
Sinatra.
In fact, did you guys ever see the movie The Comic that he made?
Yeah, that's good.
I think it.
Brilliant movie where they literally made like an. It was him and the guy that produced Dick Van Dyke show. I'm blanking on his name right now. Anyway,
Uh,
they
Something
Sheldon Leonard?
Paris.
Oh yeah, Jerry Paris or Sheldon
Paris.
Leonard.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know,
Sheldon Leonard.
but they made a movie where they were paying homage to the old time like the 30
Carl
stars
Reiner.
and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Carl Runner. Yeah, there
Carl
you
Reiner.
go. Yeah.
Meathead's
Oh,
dad.
okay.
It's
It's
great.
real life.
Man, it's great. It's sad though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
sad
yeah.
at
It
the
is
same
bad.
time.
Yeah, it is.
Now I'm gonna bring up one controversial. Um, I'm not sure how much of the singing he actually did in the Joker and Joker Fully Dumb, but Joaquin Phoenix.
Hmm. Yeah. Now
I'm
buy
not sure how
that.
much singing he actually did.
In part 2, the musical.
He did a little singing in part 1, a little bit.
That's right, he did. Singing in the rain. Or
But it was like over exaggerated in part 2.
Yeah.
To cater to that stupid man, Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga. Yeah.
Yeah, I said it. That's a man. Um,
Mm.
I'm trying to think of more modern people. More.
Jackie Gleason back in the day. I'll shut up
Yeah.
now. Jackie Gleason, and he could write music too.
Mhm,
A
mhm.
lot of music.
Oh,
Hit
Yeah.
records.
Jackie.
I think it's good, but I will bring up Bruce Willis and movies like The Hudson Hawk. Oh God,
Bruce Willis cannot sing. He tries.
Now I know
I like
Patrick
Bruce Willis.
Swayze was
Not
one of
man.
them.
Bruno was cool.
I've
I
seen him
actually had
dance.
a
He
record.
can dance.
I had his
Actually,
record, man. Bruno.
actually, I think Patrick Swayze was the last of the big ones.
Hmm.
You know, he's in Dirty Dancing. He sang that one song, and then he could dance and he acted.
John Travolta.
Yeah, yeah, him too.
Oh,
He can sing a little bit.
Yeah, he had his own album back in the 70s.
Yeah. How well did that?
oh, let's go a little
I'm thinking of
hardcore. Hooked on a feeling. David Hasselhoff.
Oh
Yeah.
Can he dance? Come
If
on.
you're German, if you're
Yeah,
German,
he danced in that video. He
Okay.
did.
Okay. I've never seen
Hey,
him dance. I wouldn't
hey,
wear
we
that.
call him
let's not go crazy with
we
Hassel.
call him the hundred.
I'm not sure he could do any
the
of them.
thousand
Really.
Hey,
foot
here's what I'll
guy.
tell you. Here's what I'll tell you. Hey, I was watching Salem's Lot, and I saw David Soul drive a stake through Nosferatu's heart at the end of it. And
Yeah,
the very next show that come on, it was some kind of music show like bandstand, and David Soul was on there singing a stupid song, and it freaked me out.
yeah, he sang a song. He sang a couple songs.
Bandstand.
The original Brady Bunch. The original Brady Bunch.
Don't give
What?
up on us,
I'm
baby.
joking. They couldn't. Yeah.
They
Johnny
had a
Bravo.
variety show. I actually sat through the Brady Bunch variety show before.
Oh, you poor thing. You have my sympathies.
Aretha Franklin. I remember seeing her at the Fox. Y'all, it's too hot out here. I gotta go. Like she canceled the show at State Park. It's just too hot. I'm sorry. Oh
good
man,
God,
I'm sorry. It just tickles me.
Franklin.
I wanted to hear her do Pink Cadillac. I love that silly song. Oh man.
Oh, I think she acted her butt off in the Blues Brothers.
Yeah, she
Blues
Y'all
did.
put her in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if she could
Yes.
dance. I don't remember. She probably can dance or could.
Yeah, she
Danced
danced during
with
that
them.
a little bit.
Yeah,
but
with Aretha.
It's been a while. It's been a minute. Yeah, you're right.
Mhm. With
You're
her
right.
background girls. Hmm.
She
That's
actually when she came down to Alabama to record, she was disappointed when she showed up in Muscle Shoals and it was white people that were in the band, and she demanded that they get the black band that had been playing all the music. And when they finally convinced her that these were the actual, like, I think they had to actually play a song for her to prove to her that
Yes.
they could do it. She was like, okay, we own. But she almost walked away from that recording session, which made her what she is.
Muscle Shoals. I was in Muscle Shoals. Wow.
Yeah, Muscle
About 2 or
Shoals,
3
man.
weeks ago.
Yeah, Muscle Shoals brought us Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, they
Brought
brought a lot
us
of
the
music.
the Allman Brothers, lots of bands.
Yeah, Muscle Shoals was even for Stones and all of them.
Mm-hmm.
They flew down there with intention because they had great music back then, and they liked the rhythm and blues, you know. So where else but where you go, Muscle Shoals.
And
Tracy,
half of the Muscle Shoals guys moved up to Nashville and became what they called the Nashville. I think the Nashville Brothers or something like that. I may be getting it wrong, but then it was Norbert Putnam. He played bass, and they started all those things, and that's where I think it was. They pulled a lot of Sun Records and stuff like that. It was just that was a hot scene back in the 60s and 70s.
Back then, definitely.
Tracy,
Oh,
you
why did I not think about this guy? Morris Day.
and the
time.
Yeah. Great performer.
He's a triple threat.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. Prince in Purple Rain. He could act in Purple Rain. I believed him.
Yeah. So what was I were saying, Chance?
Rolling Stones, just real quick. I had a morbid thought the other day. They should re-release Time, but change it up. Time is not on my side. We're gonna be dead soon.
Oh,
Time. I'm sorry, it's terrible.
Oh, what was the name of that movie with Denzel and John Candy?
Yeah, the demon one. Yeah, the demon
like
where
Fallen.
the demon
Fallen.
Fallen.
Yeah, Fallen.
Fall, yes.
That was actually brilliant how they did
Pretty
that.
creepy.
That was a good movie.
That's how you knew
that was a good movie.
The demon was singing that song.
And you made me think of Falling Down. I like that one a lot too. With Michael Douglas.
Yeah, that's a great movie for completely different reasons. Yeah.
Totally Wells is the ex-wife, and he's just had enough, man. He wants that damn breakfast.
Just wanted his breakfast. Yeah.
Yes, that scene. There's a great meme that I've been seeing floating around. It's like the older I get, the more I relate with this guy, and it's him there looking for breakfast. It's like, yep.
And there's nothing wrong with this street, this effing street. And if you notice, when he tears up that convenience store, there's a street sign. It's Corona Street, and I saw that during the pandemic. It's kind of weird. It says Corona Street. I don't know. It does. Watch it again. Right, the whole thing, Corona Street. Like,
there's a Corona Street in Palm Springs.
Weird.
What's that Kevin Bacon movie that has Paint It Black? Like, speaking of Rolling Stone songs in movies, it's like it's based on a Richard Matheson book. It's a ghost movie.
Which Kevin Bacon movie has? What was the song?
Paint It Black.
Paint It Black.
I think Ghost is in the title.
There's like a kid in it, and he's
Stir of Echoes.
Stir of Echoes.
Stir of Echoes.
Thank you. Thank you, girlfriend.
Sorry, that just randomly popped in my head because we were talking about Rolling Stones and movies.
Yeah.
I got a video I'm working on with Free Jack, and it's got Mick Jagger in it. So yeah.
Oh Lord.
Free Jack! Oh my God! That beautiful gem of a movie.
Yeah.
Okay, Zach, go ahead. Sorry.
I need to get going soon, but any final words for tonight?
Final words, Free Jack. Go watch Free Jack. If you people have not seen Free Jack, look here. Let me
go see Free Jack.
right quick. Okay.
Just for Mick Jagger alone, it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
But Zach, I did want to say, I love you, dude. Sorry if I was being a little combative. This is just something I'm passionate about.
Fight him, Zach. Fight him.
Thank you, Zach. We got a lot of
show.
Look, I've seen what he does with that knife. I am not.
I was about to say,
you.
show it. Send in those gun videos.
I say we all get together.
Those gun videos.
We all get together and we send Zach a box of them them candy bars made from bugs so he can eat it live on the screen.
There's like scorpion lollipops and stuff. Yeah.
Stuff like
And Zach, happy belated birthday, man. I was
Yeah.
watching your stream the other night. It was a lot of fun. You're the big 3-0. No, you're 32, right? And everybody, my last word is get these cookies.
Oh God.
Telling you, go to Dollar
Man, I
Tree.
gotta get a sponsorship
Lemon
as good
cream.
as yours, man.
They're so good. And I'm looking forward to being on Tug's stream because I like the topic.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait to see.
1 o'clock Eastern.
Well, guys,
Yeah.
I'm going to take off soon, so
Okay,
have a
cool.
great one.
I think everybody is. The show's about over.
Zach, you did a great job hosting, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
good
dude,
job, Zach.
Yeah.
Excellent
good.
job.
I did love this topic, obviously,
really
because
did.
I had a lot to say.
Thanks to the chat.
Caldy, you doing an after thing? You're muted, dude. I can't hear you.
Yes, I am.
Okay, cool.
Oh
For anybody that wants
boy.
to hang out. I don't have any crazy videos or anything like that, but yeah, I want to hang out and talk some more. So I will set.
I got to
something
tell you
up.
about what I've been doing today. So.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
I'll be there. God.
I think I might spit it to sound
Thank you for
like
taking
And
the
Dan,
time
don't
to
you want
listen to
quick
this conversation with us. It wasn't just about food. It was about life, about the choices we make, and the direction we're heading. It was about going deeper than trends and technology and reconnecting with the foundation that has always sustained us, the land, the hands, and the hearts that keep us fed. These are conversations that matter, not just today but for the future generations that will depend on the decisions we make now. Food is not just something we consume. It's something we become. It's time we start treating it that way. We live in a world that pushes for faster results, easier solutions, and more profit. But real nourishment doesn't come from a lab. It comes from generations of trial and error, storytelling, seed saving, harvesting, healing, and feeding with love. It comes from knowing the difference between being full and being fulfilled. Food touches every part of our lives, our health, our values, our culture, and our future. When we understand it on that level, we begin to shift how we treat it. It's not just about feeding the body. It's about feeding the mind and spirit too. There's a reason our ancestors lived the way they did. It wasn't because they didn't have access to technology. It was because they respected the balance between man and nature. They understood the sacredness of what grew from the earth. They saw the connection between soil and soul. And now it's our turn to carry that understanding forward. Not by trying to recreate life in a lab, but by honoring life as it was created. That is where true strength lies. In every seed planted by hand, in every meal made from scratch, in every child taught to grow their own food, there is resistance. Resistance to dependency. Resistance to the idea that we need a system to survive. We've always had what we needed. It's in the soil. It's in our hands. It's in the stories passed down around kitchen tables. We need to hold on to that. We need to build our futures on that. We need to pass that on like the treasure it is. There's power in slowing down. There's power in learning how to do things the old way. There's power in not needing what the world says we must rely on. When we choose to raise food, prepare it with love, store it with care, and share it with others, we are choosing freedom. We are choosing community. We are choosing resilience. And that is something no machine, no modification, and no synthetic invention can ever replicate. This is not about going backwards. This is about going deeper. It's about remembering who we are. It's about knowing that being prepared doesn't mean stockpiling things that expire. It means learning the skills that never do. It means teaching the next generation how to live without panic. It means grounding ourselves in the truth that we were not meant to rely on artificial systems to survive. We were designed with the wisdom and the strength to do it ourselves. You don't need to be a scientist to shape the future of food. You need to be a student of nature, a lover of the land, a keeper of tradition, a protector of the things that matter most. There's a reason people feel better when they eat real food, when they work with their hands, when they gather with others to share a home-cooked meal. That's not just nostalgia. That's our design. That's the blueprint we were born with. This conversation isn't meant to scare anyone. It's meant to awaken something inside you. Something that might have been sleeping. Something that remembers the taste of fresh tomatoes from the garden, or the smell of bread baking in your grandmother's oven. That memory isn't just about food. It's about identity. It's about safety. It's about home. You deserve that. Your children deserve that. Let's not lose it. To find anything Unique Prepping, visit the Linktree link in the description. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share if this message spoke to you. Your voice matters. Your presence matters. We're building a community that's grounded in truth, strength, and love. And every time you show up, it gets stronger. I love you all. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself, after his kind, and God saw that it was good. Genesis 1 verse 12 KJV. Stay prepared. Stay unique. God bless.
Very well stated, Zach. Thank you.
Yeah, very good.
You're welcome.
And Dan, Sunday night you're going to be on with Thrash and Sarah and
That's
me.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly. And Tug can be there too if he wants to. And
Yeah, Sarah's already invited me. I got the link. I'll be there.
I told her to make sure y'all too. It's a
So
whole lot.
you'll see a lot of me tomorrow, all of you.
What's the topic? What's the topic, Dan?
I have
what's-
no clue right now.
Okay.
We'll surprise everybody.
All
No,
right.
actually not. Yeah, we're doing a. I didn't want to bum everybody out, but we're doing a kind of a tribute to Val Kilmer. He recently passed away.
I can hold this longer, Zach. Oh, damn it, Zach. You got
I think Zach's got to pee.
Be sure to tell Chance if it smells weird.
Does he even have some sugar smacks or asparagus?
I'll take it back. He might be peeing now.
Making moves on your chess piece, always on the grind in this game called life. Gotta sharpen up the mind. Unique prepping, got the vision locked and loaded. Every challenge that arises, I'm determined, I'm devoted. Stay ready for the call and to life's demands, and we'll rise together. We'll take our stand. Unique prepping, it's more than a show. We're building foundations, we're ready to grow. Like, share, comment, let your voice be known. Together we can thrive, we're never alone. Every view, every like, your support is the fire that keeps me hyped. Common depth and insight, share the vision wide. This community's growing and we'll ride this tide. So go ahead and subscribe, don't miss a beat. Tune in next time, let's make this complete. Unique prepping, it's more than a show. We're building foundations, we're ready to grow. Like, share, comment, let your voice be known. Together we can thrive, we're never alone. Let that fire ignite. See you next time, let's keep it bright. more than a show. We're building foundations. We're ready to grow. Like, share, comment. Let your voice be known. Together we can thrive. We're never alone. You pushing forward, let that fire ignite. See you next time, let's make this complete. Unique crafting is more than a show. We're building foundations, we're ready to grow. Like, share, comment, let your voice be known. Together we can thrive, we're never alone. Never alone. Never alone. Keep pushing forward, let that fire ignite. See you next time, let's keep it bright. Yeah. Let
Happy
that fire
trails!
ignite. See you next time, let's keep it bright.
Chris, you'll be back next week.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Matthew 5 verse 9 KJV.